hard all weekend, but Katie and Nicoletta have started a group Instagram page. So they had a networking meeting for that. So they're working on putting a community together, kind of that vibe of women in science, and it's called the Confidence Space. So they're working on that. So shout out to them. And then we did a 3-way call today. They pulled me in. I guess it was actually 4 of us with a PhD in Ireland. So that was so exciting. And she'd watched your video, and she wanted energy and money. So hopefully that'll come up with something. And then, so just a lot of 3-way calls all day.
That's what it's all about. That's what we're constantly telling the new folks on the line. And even y'all, I pulled Murray into a 3-way on Friday. I'm in the business almost 4 years, and I'm still pulling my upline in for validation, depending on the person. Way to go. So this group, Melva, is it on Instagram or is it Facebook?
Yes. So they're doing they put together, and they'll listen to the recording, and they're like, when is the recording going up? But they're putting together a community. So I don't know if you've seen a lot of these people like Rebecca Caffaro, I forget whose team she's on. She has Elevate Your Life Project, but it's where you tag. I don't want to do it injustice, so I'll let someone else explain it. But it's basically like a community page where we can combine, do posts, and let people see it. Kind of like how Facebook has the Facebook interest groups. Yep. It's that same type of vibe, but in the Instagram world. So I love
it. I love it. And
millennials are like on fire.
That's incredible. So as you guys get that platform up and running, maybe in a couple of weeks, you guys can do some shares on it. That's incredible. I love it. It's kind of like Christine leveraging the Pharmacy Moms group and creating meetup groups out in LA. I got booted out of the group because I was apparently too aggressive.
And one more thing I'm testing out really quickly. Shout out to Sandra. You've been supporting my posts. I really love your energy there. I appreciate that. So I've been testing this out really quickly, and I'm happy to share some results and share with you. But the algorithms on the lives, I guess, have changed for the last 2 months. So what people are doing now is a Facebook watch party. So I've done a couple in the last couple of days, just testing it out. But basically, when you do a live or any video, like if you see an inspirational video that you like and you want to share on your page, you can schedule a watch party. And let's say you do a live, you put a live on your page, and then you can hide it from your page, and you can replay that video as a watch party. So if you scroll down on your Facebook, you can do that. But right now, that has the algorithm for Facebook. So those of you still on Facebook, so people get notified more. So I don't know if any of you got notified when I was doing the watch parties, but you can basically do the same video, or if you have a inspirational video that you got a lot of feedback on, or live you did, you can bring it up. So just check out watch parties. And like I said, I'm just kind of testing it out, but that's what the algorithm is now. So you do a live, and then you hide it from your wall, and you save it as a video. Then you go and do a watch party. So anyway, I could talk about it later, but it's called a watch party. It's under, if you go on your Facebook and you choose, instead of do a live or a photo, you'll see kind of on the right column, it says watch party, and you host a watch party, and you can put a video in there. So if you Google it, you'll find some stuff, but that's kind of the buzz right now in the online world of Facebook. So. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
I was muted, sorry, because my husband's on a call over in the other room. No, that's really awesome. And what I would suggest folks to do is you can always go by, and you can, if it sounds like something you really want to play with, you can always go to YouTube or go to Google and search a lot of stuff. Melva's saying it's super simple. Yeah, probably just have to play with it. So awesome. Yeah. So let's do some shout outs. My first big shout out was going to go to you, Melva. I saw you all over social media this weekend, and it was so catchy, all of it. It's funny because I went to your profile to pull your picture for my LinkedIn post tonight, and your picture was moving. And I'm like, wait, I just want a snapshot. Can you stop moving? I was like, this is so cool. So that's incredible. So just kudos to your energy and what you're doing with that. The Moscow app, have to check it out.
No, it changed it. It's the Moshow app. It's MOSHOW. And it does super cool, really cool videos that you can do, and you can add that for your profile. So again, I'm you know me, I'm testing out some new things right now. So.
Well, I was in there forever with my maracas, shaking. So, okay. The other huge shout out I want to give is to 2 different teams. And one goes out to Jennifer Bartram and Tammy Fry, who've been working tirelessly to plan their Super Saturday coming up on March 9th. I was on the line with them last week for quite some time, just working through logistics and where they're going with that. And I'm super excited about what they've got going on. And a huge shout out to Christine Manukin out in LA, who's decided that, she's put her foot down and she's doing this darn thing and she's not turning back. Guys, she has 71 tickets sold for her event. She's completely sold out. So we're having to do some mini events on Friday and some other events on Sunday. So that brings me to kind of part of my announcement piece is be aware of where your team is doing events right now, because we've got one going on the West Coast this week. We've got multiple events launching on March 9th. We've got Jennifer's, we've got Boston, we've also got Atlanta. And so look through your network tirelessly and begin inviting people to those Super Saturdays that are in your network. You don't have to be there. I'm inviting people. I've got a new girl, the girl who bought the Ultimate Pack. I'm sending her to the Atlanta Super Saturday with Amanda Ham. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be up in Ohio. So look at your network, because the quicker you can funnel people into the team, no matter where they are across the country, the quicker they're going to feel the culture, the quicker it's going to validate, the quicker they're going to hear stories, and the quicker they're going to move forward with the business. So be sure to leverage those Super Saturdays that are going on right now, because as we get closer and closer to late spring, early summer, that stuff kind of dies down, and you're not going to have places to funnel in your network to jump in and see these things before celebration. Okay. So those were my shout outs. So I will stop. Who has any other shout outs that they want to give teammates in recognition of things that they've been doing awesome?
Hey guys, I want to give a shout out to Catherine. She's been actually nonstop, but we are learning.
Oprah.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about who to network with, because a lot of opportunities that she's reaching out to, they are turning around to trying to recruit her. So it's very interesting how we approach people. Like yesterday, she'll share with me, she had a meeting with somebody that she prospected, and then she showed up. That person is there with their business partner telling them about life savings insurance and all this. I was like, oh, okay. So just kind of learning as we're going, but it's one of those things is like you learn and you go next. You know what I mean? Just not like stopping. Not letting anything to stop. And we even had a 3-way call scheduled today. In the last minute, the guy's like, yeah, I need more time. I'm like, okay, you need more time? Then you can come on Saturday. You can get as much time as you want. So we're kind of turning this like, conversations into action and just inviting more people. But yes, I just wanted to tell her like big kudos for actually just doing the deal. And sometimes it's like the hardest thing is just to take the first step. And I think that's something that we have to kind of always remember, like just invite people. Like I had the guts to invite this very well respected TV hostess, Armenian channel actress, health professional, like health coach, she is. And I invited her on Instagram. I said, you know what? I love watching you and you're such an inspiration. Would you come to my event? And she's like, I would love to. And she registered right away. I was like, hallelujah. Like, you never know. Like, this chick has like 14,000 followers. Like, she is like huge. Like, she's like Oprah in Armenian channel, okay? Young, energetic. Like, so I'm like, you just passed. Like, what? I mean, if she says no, I'm busy, or no, whatever, like, who cares? Just doing a do. So I think we're all feeling the shift, as Jessica was saying, and just being a little bit more bold, which is kind of fun, actually.
It's incredible, Christine, and I love it. And that's the thing is, like, you never know who's going to say yes. And that's why it's so important to create and continue with your brand on social media. And when I say brand for the new folks, I don't mean Isagenix. I mean your presence, who you are, what you're excited about, what you represent. So, for me, I represent being a busy mom of 3 that's excited about life, that's healthy, that I'm constantly healthy, I'm constantly happy. And there happens to be this business behind me that drives all of that. And so where I'm going with this is that, whatever social media platform you're using, for me recently with LinkedIn, I had made a direct message to a pharmacist like over a month ago. And she never responded. And then I made a post on LinkedIn last week about the soiree that I'm having here in Charlotte on Thursday night, and invited people to come learn, network. And still, I didn't know that not a lot of people commented or said anything about it. And then Murray Miller on Friday afternoon, out of all times, he was just fired up about all this success on LinkedIn, and he just decided to make this huge power post on a Friday afternoon. And I was like, Murray, that's crazy. People are checked out. They're not on LinkedIn on Friday afternoon. Nobody's working. They're like getting home. Well, he makes this post in literally seconds after the post. Seconds. This pharmacist in Charlotte, I have no idea, never met her before. I clearly sent her a message a month ago about the opportunity. She never responded. She sent me a message right after that power post and said she was really interested in the soiree and she wanted to come meet me and meet the team. And so my point is, and this kind of goes back to Christine, is it's like, you just have to ask people to take a look. You never know when they're ready. You never know when they're watching it and when they're ready. So we just have to be omnipresent, right? And just continue enjoying life and living out loud, and people will ultimately join us when the time is right for them. So don't be afraid to ask. I asked this girl a month and a half ago, and she never responded until she saw a power post this week, which was not me reaching out to ask her to come. And she reached out to me. So be bold. You never know. You never know who's going to show up on your front doorstep. Awesome, Christine. Any other shout outs, guys?
One more thing. I just want to also to, again, congratulate Brandon. He doesn't stop to amaze me every week. He is like on this like roller coaster ride, man. And I think he's on the line, but he's like inspiring so many of his coworkers. He's lost even more weight after NYKO, which he thought he didn't. Like he's close to 70 pounds weight loss, you guys, since September. This is crazy.
Wow.
And his work is actually like he said he delivered a mail to his boss and walked into the office and they're like, wait a minute, don't go what are you doing? Like you keep like changing yourself like this last couple of months. And they even offered him to go take this new health like screening test, and if he passed, meaning because he's lost like so much weight and getting healthier, they're gonna give him more discounts in the store. It's like crazy stuff. I'm like, did you invite them to the event? Like, did you tell him? So anyways, he's like a walk-in billboard for the company, you know?
He's gonna speak this weekend, right? At the Super Saturday?
I'm gonna have him speak, share his story. It's all about sharing people's story during our presentation. So but yeah, I just wanted to say how proud I am.
That's incredible. That's what it's all about, changing lives. And I mean, he's going to create, his life has been profoundly changed by you, Christine. Mm-hmm. By you building that brand, being who you are on social media and inspiring him and getting him to say yes. You've completely changed his life forever. And right now, you've completely changed his life physically. But and Brandon, I'm talking like you're not on the line. I see you're there. So, hey, not only is your life changed physically, but buddy, your life's about to change financially too, in a big way. So that's just so exciting. It's so exciting. Okay, cool. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Let's see your face, Brandon. Nothing can be worse than this with my pink bra sticking out. Okay. Couple other things. New shake flavor. This has never happened before. For those of you that are fairly new, Isoline Pro has always come in individual packets. It's our higher protein shake. It's always come in individual packets, and we've always only had 3 flavors: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. That's all we've ever had. And I'm a big Pro fan because it's less carbohydrates and more protein, and it's more filling in the morning. And I tend to feel like I'm a little more slimmer and trimmer using the Pro than just the basic Isoline. There is a new caramel latte Isoline Pro shake in a canister that's being launched on Tuesday. So I know we're like going a million miles an hour, especially like in North Carolina. We're recruiting for this event on Thursday. We've got the Super Saturdays about to happen. Our heads are spinning. Sit down and make time in your calendar on Monday or Tuesday. Go through your back office and craft a message. I'll put a template out there for you guys if you want me to. You want to message every single one of your product users right now about this product and how phenomenal it's going to be and how excited we are. These seasonal release weeks are the weeks when people see a huge boost in their cycles, because what happens is your loyal customers go in and purchase a ton of this stuff because they're super excited about it, and it sells out like that and then it's gone. And so If we all as a group message our downlines and our product users about this product, you're going to see a huge boost in your cycles this week. Some of you may hit 1-star, some of you may hit 2-star, especially if you throw in a couple of enrollments. If you put in a value pack and an ultimate pack and you have some go cycles, I could see you guys pop in 1 and 2-star this week. So don't let, and this is a big cycle week for this team. I just looked at my autos for next week. It's huge. So you've got a lot of volume coming from orders this week. So be sure to reach out, make time for that. The last thing I'm going to say before we dive into content for our master trainers is around the global call that I'm doing on Wednesday night. I'm calling it a global call because I don't know who all's going to dial in. This team has been on fire. We have enrolled, I should pull some numbers. I bet we've enrolled 50 to 60 people over the past month just in my downline. When you look at all the Crystal managers that have popped, all the new enrollments that are coming in, we have a lot of brand new people. And so I want to hit kind of the refresh button and have like an onboarding training for everyone new. So those of you who have new Crystal managers, you need to reach out to them and make sure they're inviting their downline, meaning the people that they've introduced. So Christine, I know you've got a girl on fire out there who's enrolled a ton of people. We want to get those people on this call on Wednesday night. We're doing it at 9 p.m. so that we can serve the West Coast and the East Coast. And I don't know if Katie has anybody out in Australia, Hong Kong, Ireland. She's all over the place. But hopefully, anyone that she's recently enrolled, she can, get in or we'll get the recording either way. This is the thing. Susan Miller and I, you guys know Susan and I we're like lockstep, right? Like she's groomed me. She's trained me this year to lead for the business. You guys have seen that. That's the direction I'm going. It's the direction I've been. Susan and Murray are masters at this. They are masters at teaching the business, the masters at motivating people to grow a business. So Susan and I are going to get on the phone tomorrow right after the GAT call, and I'm stealing some slides from her, and she's training me on what I need to really present on Wednesday night with these brand new people for duplication. So we're going to dive into our GET resources. We're going to dive into the power of 10 and motivate folks to flip the switch and begin recruiting. I'm going to help orient them to their resources and coach them on how to get plugged in and how to move forward and grow a business quickly. So this is me helping you onboard your people. And if you invite people to the line, please be on the line. My goal is that everyone new is able to kind of go around and introduce themselves for validation. They can learn a little bit about people's professional background, maybe why they're interested in the business. This is going to be a validation call. It's going to be just as much about training as it is about creating community and culture amongst brand new people who are coming in. Okay. And so for the leaders on the line, I want you guys to go around and give your 30-second story too. Life before Isagenix, life after Isagenix, and why you're excited about the future. For those of you who are brand spanking new like Sandra, I've invited her to the line to onboard, but she's just like ahead of the game because she's jumped on this call tonight too, even though she just enrolled like 2 weeks ago. She's just amazing and motivated and ready to do this and crush it. So she's here tonight. But so make sure, guys, I'm doing this not just for me. I'm doing this for all of you. So please don't let this slip through the cracks. Get your new people on the line. Get your new people's new people on the line. And get your new people's new people's new people on the line. Drive the lines and get them on the call. Okay? All right. I'm going to shut my mouth now because I think that was it. I gave you guys some verbiage on how to invite people to that and a little screenshot. You're going to have to educate brand new people on if they're going to come in on their phone, how to download the Zoom app for free, or let them know they just need to click on that link to go to their computer. So people need a little coaching on that if they're brand new. We have to remember that everybody's not used Zoom before. So, all right. I am excited to shut my mouth and let our master trainers who've been in massive action train you guys on what's working for them with creating consultants. We've got 4 folks who are going to speak tonight, and the rest of you feel free to chime in on what's working for you. But I'm going to turn it over to the team. Let me look at the lineup here and see who said they were going to speak. Does anybody just want to go first before I delegate?
No, I can go. Just make it easy.
Perfect. Who is that? Christine?
Yeah.
Go for it. Awesome.
So I have one of those things that sometimes when you're trying to create consultants, you will, especially if it's a family like husband and wife, or like anybody who lives in a house, they have the parents with them. I try to encourage them to do this as a family, so that way they can all benefit. But the first objection we get, it's like, well, I'm already spending $300 on me. I don't want to pay another, let's say $300 for, my husband's groceries, right? So this is when you have to kind of like make a business decision if they're starting on a 30-day pack, right? If the cost is an issue. I've been telling them, you know what? Why don't you open up your own account with 100 BV for something that's additional, will not come in the 30-day pack or value pack or whatever it is. And you will enroll your spouse, so you will get the BV and you'll get the commission. So this kind of encourages them to not only create 2 accounts, but also having them to find the other third person to join their team so they can do double PIBs. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm enrolling on the value pack and I'm like trying to encourage this person to bring their spouse, and they're like, I don't know about that. So I'll be like, okay, and your husband loves to work out, so why don't we open up your own account with 100 BV of the Ampline products, which is not in the value pack. You enroll your husband with the value pack as you are going to use, and then find one more friend in the value pack. So now you got like $450 of worth of products and your consultant. So you're like a step further. So I've been trying to do that recently. It's been working.
Christine, real quick, I'm going to back you up for 1 second. Will you run the numbers for everybody? Can you let's be real practical, black and white. So what are the numbers that you share with people when you say that, as far as PIBs, product introductory bonuses?
So I tell them, like, every product that they purchase has business volume attached to it, because we're a global company. So we cannot say if you spend $150, you're going to get $50 back. It doesn't work that way. So I always kind of break it down more of like what's applicable. So I say, if you start with our basic pack, the company is going to give you $25, and that's about 180 some BVs, right? But I always tell them, if you want to do this and save money as a household because your family wants to use this with you, but you don't want to spend too much money up front because you're still not sure if it's going to work for you or not. So I'm still kind of like telling them, just give it a try. I'm not forcing it on them, but I'm at least telling them, give it a shot. This way you guys will try different products. So I offer them, you open up your own wholesale account with 100 BV of products, something that's not available part of our pack, part of our systems. Whether it is to use our Ampline, which a lot of people want to use, or our like Isobiome, a lot of people have been coming on those. So depending on what they want to get additional. And then I will tell them, okay, if you want to get the value pack that we're going to start with you, the company is going to give you $100, okay? But let's just get one more person in your family or friends that start with the same pack. So now you'll get $200 for each person and $50 from the company. So that's $450 in your pocket. So just kind of like breaking it down for them.
Yep. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm getting some background noise. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to mute you for 1 second, Christine. So I agree 100%. I love that. Now, I would add on the flip side of that, for your folks who are coming in all business and leading with the ultimate pack, you can take that same route. What I do is I tell people to come in on an ultimate pack and a shake and cleanse pack. So the shake and cleanse pack would be what the spouse would use so that both can do a 30-day cleanse. And this is important for you guys to know. Although it's tempting to do the ultimate pack and get your own 150 PIB, what you want to do is you want to enroll the shake and cleanse pack for them and have them enroll the ultimate pack for their spouse. And then they're going to get $150 PIB. And now they're really motivated, like I was this week. I mean, I can't tell you how many rocks I've turned over all day today. I'm practically giving away a 30-day system trying to get this PIB for the ultimate pack. Now, if they go out and find one more enrollment this week, they're going to get an additional 150 for that ultimate pack. So now they've made 300. And if they bring in a value pack with their buddy, Now they've made an additional $200. So they've made $500. They have more than paid for their spouse's Shake and Cleanse pack and some on their Ultimate pack. So I find that it's important to like give them that dollar value. So it makes, to like you shared, Christine, so they know exactly what they can do with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And
then also with the Ultimate pack, don't forget you're going to cycle as well. So that's additional $54 coming both ways. Yep. If you do enroll. But I just remember there's one breakdown that I learned at the Super Saturday. They broke down the Ultimate pack, $19 for 2 months.
Yep. Yeah.
I've never heard it say that way. Yeah. But I was like, huh? So the way you can also introduce, I'm going to be bold and start using that numbers too, because I've never talked to anybody about Ultimate pack, and I'll be the first one to admit, because it's a lot of money for a lot of people, right? But if you say it that way, it makes more sense for them. Okay,
but
so
if you're leading with the business, it's not as much
for
people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a startup for a business.
Even rephrasing it, instead of saying like, oh, it's like, like $40 a day, for your 30 days, just say it's $19 a day for 2 months. So you're going home with 2 months worth of groceries. So
I love that.
I thought it was brilliant, the way they presented at the Super Saturday in LA. I was like,
I love that. I'm writing it down. You guys getting that? We all need to be more confident about the Ultimate pack. I'm finding that I probably led with the Ultimate pack with you, Sandra. I lead with the Ultimate pack. And then I talk about the value pack, but I'm leading with the business. So when you lead with the business, it makes sense to lead with the Ultimate pack. You want people to have broad product exposure. You want them to get the pro in their body. You want them to try the vitamins. You want them to see, touch, taste, feel everything beyond just our 30-day system. So to your point, Christine, if you fold in, it's like $19 a day for 2 months. You're replacing 2 meals a day with this stuff. Like you're eating your overhead. You eat it. That's the cost of doing business. It becomes not as difficult as a conversation, especially if a spouse is going to get on board. Worst case scenario, they go with a value pack, which is an amazing pack because they want to try it for themselves first, right? So awesome. What else, Christine? This is great. Can you share what you shared last week? Because there's a couple people on the line that weren't on last week about the accountability buddies getting started on the like on a thread, on a messenger. I thought about you, Sandra, when you talked about Christine.
Oh yeah. So another thing we learned at the Super Saturday was the way to introduce the accountability partners and actually get those people more engaged in that person's life is, so let's say I just enrolled Melissa. And I asked Melissa, who do you know? And they're like, I don't know anybody. Melissa's like, I have no idea. Nobody wants to do this. I'm all by myself. So she keeps pushing back to me, right? So then I will ask Melissa again, like, Melissa, God forbid you were in a car accident. Who are you going to call? Who are those 2 people you're going to call and say, I'm alive, thank God, but I was in an accident. So now she was going to be thinking, okay, who do I trust the most, right? So then she's going to be like, okay, I'm going to call my husband and my best friend. And I'll be like, perfect. What we want to do with you, all 3 of you, is get you all on a Facebook Messenger. Please add those 2 people, including me. So all 4 of us on the Facebook thread. And you're going to tell them, you guys, I'm starting a new journey. Please keep me accountable. And one thing that I promised my friend Christine that helped me with this product is I have to give her every week how I'm doing. So I have to literally share my results with all of you, and you guys are here to hear like how I'm doing. If I'm struggling, I'm going to talk about it. If I'm having a success, I'm going to talk about it. Well, guess what? My job as a coach is make sure Melissa's having like an amazing first week, right? Or even like amazing experience. So she's going to be sharing on her messenger saying like, I lost 2 pounds. I'm doing the cleanse. I'm doing great, blah, blah, blah. And now the other people who are on the thread, they're going to be like, wait a minute, I want to feel amazing too. If Melissa is up for this, maybe I should do it too. So that's how you kind of like turn those watchers into more of being more engaged. Mm-hmm. And it's a small, intimate group. So if there's 2 people or 3 people, it doesn't matter as many people as that person feels comfortable adding on the thread. So this is great. I actually tried this with my new girl that just started. She's not social media savvy, so it didn't really work for her. But I told her, you know what, let's just do it offline too, like text messaging, whatever. So I'm gonna try to push that for her to feel more comfortable sharing that. So
Well, and I thought Sandra must have just heard you through osmosis last week, because she set up her own accountability Facebook page and has like invited her community to join and watch your journey.
nice.
This is
Love
incredible. She actually posted my before after in there today, just to give an example of what she was excited that she was moving towards. So that's awesome. Awesome, Christine. Anything else before we move on to Jennifer? No, you good? Okay, thank you for sharing. All very helpful. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer Bartram, your sweet boy, senior year. I loved all your posts this weekend. You've been super, super busy. All right, I'm going to let you go. Wait a minute, you're muted. Can't hear you.
I had a different take on this slightly than Christine, so this will give you a different perspective. We may
Absolutely.
all have 4 different. The first thing, I really thought long and hard about this. Tammy's asked me before, a few other people have asked me, and this was a hard one for me to put down on paper. But one thing I thought about is initially when I'm prospecting them, I'm going with confidence during that prospecting enrollment process. That's one of the biggest things: confidence, confidence, confidence. And I go with 80%, 87% product user retention rate. You're going to love it. We're loving it. Here's the stories of my families. My family kind of covers the whole ages of everything. Most of my people aren't cold market. I think I'll have that in the future. I haven't built my success in those areas yet, so those are goals. But anyway, on to this. I always, if I'm sitting down with a person, I always show them the simplicity of the globalexecteam.com and the Get tools, and how you can just forward this and try to make it, even though I'm a physical therapist and I love fitness and I love wellness, you don't have to have all that because they've done it all for you. So with that being said, I also lead again with my story about how initially I signed up with a value pack, and I signed my husband and my mother up with that. I lead with that, put it in their head. They're already thinking, she did this, that worked for her. And then I challenge them up front, even if I haven't enrolled them yet. And I'm like, think of your network. You only need 2, but your network's a lot bigger than that. You have so many different networks. And with that, that's when I lead with, this goes to where Christine and I overlap with the accountability partners. I go ahead and lead with that. I said, you guys are going to do it together. You're going to be more successful that way. And it's so much more fun. And then I give examples of the other people who've done the accountability partners. Also with that, I go into, I have done some of those threads that Christine had said, or if the people that they're enrolling don't know me, they don't always put me in the thread, and I'm totally fine with that. I said, but I challenge the person who's going to add them to be talking to them, communicating, and let me know if they have any questions. So that's the initial thing in confidence. And depending upon where they go when I enroll them, if they're going to enroll with a value pack, I've only talked to Ultimate Pack a couple times. I haven't made that happen yet, but I was close. But anyway, depending upon where they go with that is how I lead, and then I talk the money. Like if you're going to go with the value pack like you did, then you're going to get $100 for them. You're going to get $100 for them. So I go with that way, but I just wait and see where I think they can go with that. Next, when it goes to enrollments, when I'm talking them ahead of time before they've done this, I said if they're my techies, they go directly to the IsoLife app. If they're my non-techies, it's pretty clear. Then I send them the enrollment form that they can copy and paste in their phone, and I can talk them through that, or I can do it for them in their phone if they're really not techies. And so there's 2 different ways, and depending upon if they go with the IsoLife app or if they don't, then I show them the simplicity of the app, or that I can help them enroll their first couple people to get to consultant. And if I can be with them during part of that process and they can see it, then they're realizing how easy it actually is. After that, in the sharing, I also offer myself, they can either sharing the product overview. If they want to talk more, I can do a call, but I've had a lot of success in people coming into my house. If they come into my house, I haven't ever had a situation where they don't go ahead and enroll. So that's
Because Jennifer is a force to be reckoned with. She already knows what pack you're going to order before you leave. She's already created your cart for you before you come in.
I do that too with the carts, but that's kind of with the techie. If I can do that and I think they're going to go with that and that's going to work with them, I go ahead and be like, here's a pack, you can share that with them. I'll create it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So some people need to be led like that. So I do that techie wise if I can, or if they're non-techies, then I do it, just bring them to my house or let's get on a call.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I was going to say is I kind of have my simple process of sharing. I try to stick with the Isagenix Advantage video first, but if they're business, then I get that entrepreneur right in there too. I challenge them to be like, hey, this site is amazing. Go ahead and open it up, check things out. And then I was very consistent and life's gotten a little more crazy and I haven't been as consistent, but with the Get website and the Facebook to try to get them to utilize that and show how simple and easy it is. So I've really been trying to reincorporate that consistently. And then I keep Melissa's videos on hand because that's credibility too, that she's part of our team. She's our mentor, coach, trainer. So Tammy and I have different local. We have other people from Oregon or wherever on Facebook groups that we key people into. And then I did a little note that I send to people that has everything from our Get calls to the Cepeda calls to the websites to the Facebook, everything. So I try to keep it simple so that here, just copy or save this to your notes, just save this to your notes, and so that they can easily do it. But I do make myself available as best I can for the product overview and the 3-way calls.
So what I'm hearing you say, Jennifer, I think that's really effective for you is before you're done with the enrollment, before you're done getting them enrolled, you're already showing them what they can use to then share with others versus just closing the enrollment or call with, you can bring 2 people in and you can get your pack, you can eat for free if you bring 2 people in, which, I applaud those of you who are closing the call with that, because a lot of people don't even get that far. They're just so excited to get an enrollment. They just put the enrollment in and never even talk about getting their products paid for free, moving forward with the business or the financial opportunity. But I think that you hit the nail on the head that when people get off the line, maybe they're excited about sharing, but then they're like, well, shoot, how do I do that? Right? Like, what do I do? And so to your point, one of the things I like to tell people is, hey, that video that I sent you about the science behind the products, if people show an interest in wanting to join you on the journey, share this video with them and see if it piques their interest and we can get on the phone and do a 3-way call. And to your point, Jennifer, as well, one of the things I like to do is lead people directly to the Get tool that has the scripts for connecting. I think, Sandra, you said you played with that a little bit this past week, right? Let them go in and explore and see what's in there and make it their own with the verbiage piece. But that way, before you get off the phone, you're giving people some tools to then go talk to people. I know when I first got off the phone with Amanda Ham and she said I could share, that I could get my products paid for. At this point, we didn't have anything to duplicate. I didn't have any tools or resources or anything to send anyone. I was a hot, blubbering mess just trying to talk to my friends with nothing. Which there's something to be said for ignorance on fire, just being passionate about, wanting to try something. But I think I'm glad you pointed that out, Jennifer. So guys, take note. If you're not giving people a tool to get started and share, get off the phone, they're going to flounder when they get off the phone. Yeah, go ahead.
And some of those people will be like, oh, I don't want to do the business. Oh, I don't want to do the business. And I'm like, you're not doing the business. You're just going to become a consultant. You're going to have 2 people under you. And periodically, you're going to have at least $54 a month to help pay for your business. Plus, you're going to get bonus money for enrolling them. And I can help you with that.
Yep, absolutely. Great. I love these perspectives. They're different and they're both awesome. All right, cool. Jennifer, anything else?
I'm going to add something in addition to what Jennifer taught me at NYKO, customizing their cards. Not the card itself. I don't give people options. I'm still sticking to I only ask 2 questions. Any allergies, dairy-free or regular? That's all I ask, okay? Occasionally I will ask, like, dark chocolate or milk. So that's it. But she told me that she sent the cards out. She puts their names on the card. So it'll be like Christine's card or Christine's value pack. So it has their name attached to it. So I thought it was like really cool to do that. And you can always re-edit the name, of course, so you don't send the wrong people's info.
I was told that on the other end, people can't see what you've labeled the cart.
Oh, smart. Okay.
That's what I was told. So my carts are labeled value pack for women, value pack for men, value pack. That was part of the training that they told us, is that they can't see what you label it on the other end. I'd be curious to know. Hey,
I'm curious about that too. I'm going to check with one of my people.
Would you? Okay.
So when I sent you the cart, it was 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Do you recall a title for the cart? No. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we should look into that, or maybe we should set a card up for ourselves. But I can't remember where I saw that, but I definitely saw it because I thought the same thing. But I could be wrong. We should ask some of our prospects.
Yeah, because I have not enrolled anybody manually, even before NYKO, like since end of December, when we're like doing the Cougars Challenge, from there until now, I have not enrolled anybody like manually. I've only relied on the app, and it's amazing. But
I've used the app significantly. It is a life changer in many ways, but you
such a time saver.
Yeah, you lose control though, like putting an ultimate pack in on a Monday instead of a Friday night. But cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see who else. Dawn. I think Dawn Turner was going to share with us some nuggets on. Hey, Dawn and Sandra, you guys both work for GSK. How about that?
Hey. I know. So Melissa, I right now am sending you. I just sent you art that I had a value pack for a previous prospect. So open it up and let me know what it says.
Okay. Perfect.
Well, I love what you guys are saying because so many similarities. So just a little bit about my journey. I've been doing Isagenix. It'll be 4 years. And previously, I was that person Melissa was talking about. So excited just to get someone enrolled to grow my business. I didn't talk about the business opportunity because that wasn't something I was interested in the beginning. So I really was, I guess, averse from speaking about it. And then it was more like a bait and switch when I would circle back around when they were being successful, talking about sharing. And I was not very successful in that capacity. But lo and behold, I was able to, create some consultants. And now I have a totally different approach. And something that I've been saying to absolutely everyone when they're interested is, look, take my advice and learn from me. I was not interested in the business. And some people are not going to be, and that might be you. But doesn't everybody want to get their products paid for? They taste so much better when they're free. And I stole that from something that we saw at Celebration. So I just speak a little bit high level about it because I don't want to overwhelm people. And that's what I was realizing too, is that sometimes we overwhelm because we talk a little bit too much. So I will set it up so that it's not weird when you circle back around, as far as being, in touch, holding their hand for the first week. And then talking about what are your successes? What are you experiencing? Sorry, you guys, I'm sick. So if my voice starts getting a little rough, we'll try to work through it. So, just speaking about how do you share and what are you going to do? Exactly what Melissa said and what Jen and Christine are talking about. Number one, I set everyone up now. I do things very differently, but I set everyone up with the app. I want you to download the app because I want them to start seeing how incredible this company is and what resources we have. It's extremely professional. Also, I want you in the IsaBody challenge. You need to do it. No one's going to see your pictures. You got to get in the IsaBody. This will have them, committed for 4 months. Then you can talk about, well, the business volume, you need to do 125. And this is why, and you're going to get 200, product coupon. The company's going to give back to you. Then let's talk about some of the other ways they want to give it back to you. They want to give it back to you and they want to reward you for sharing. So what's your favorite grocery store? Mine is Earth Fare. For those of you that don't know it, let's talk about like Trader Joe's. So do you ever tell any of your friends that you like to go to those stores? Well, absolutely. Imagine two people that you shared and asked them to go to Trader Joe's. When they went into Trader Joe's said, thank you so much for sending them. And they give you a referral bonus. And then every single time they shop and anyone that they referred shop, you get 6% of the profits. Always. It never stops. They don't take it away from you. They don't make you do anything weird. You don't have tens of teams. But every single time they go in, that's what you get back. And it really starts to resonate and click with people. Like you're being rewarded. And it's all a big team effort. So let me look at my notes here because trust me, you can learn from all of my mistakes of what not to do. So we're talking about what to do. So you definitely don't want to do the bait and switch. If people don't want to talk about the business, absolutely, that's fine if you don't want to talk about the business. But let's just talk about sharing so that you can get your products paid for. Setting up the cart, Jen taught me that, and I do put their names on it. So, and send it to them that way so that it's more personalized. And what I learned from Jen and Tammy and Heather Fry is this accountability. So everyone that I've brought in since Celebration, I am in constant communication. I get pictures of them holding up their shakes in the morning, telling me where they're at in the journey. It doesn't take a lot of time and it fires me up. So it's extremely exciting for them to know that you're there to help them and to coach them. But I also say, take a look at, these sites, go here and ask your questions and put them in on the Ramp Effect or whatever page you want to funnel them into. The other thing I do is I encourage them to get on the calls in the morning. Just get on the product call on Tuesday if you want to hear more about the call. That has been a game changer. People are hearing the enthusiasm and they're getting fired up and they want to hear more and more. So then if they want to hear about the business, hey, let's just jump on this Friday call and you can hear about it. My God, if you can expose people to Susan, wow, that is just incredible. And that's a validation. So it's not just us talking about it, it's other people. And I talk about the fact that this is global. This is a global company, you guys. We're on the #1 team. So just take this experience and these opportunities of coaching, it doesn't necessarily just need to be about Isagenix. It translates into your life professionally as well as with your children and your spouse. So let's make sure. So it's really all about clear expectation, right? Everything in the beginning. This is what you want. What are your goals? Whatever their goals are, if we set them up, if it's just weight loss, then as soon as they hit that goal, they're going to drop off. So I talk to them about that. I talk to people right up front about what are your goals and what are realistic expectations. If you want to lose 50 to 70 pounds, doing it in 30 days is really not realistic. Let's talk about a year. And then just going over that again with them at every touch point. Where are you? How are you doing? And let's, keep talking about what those goals are and setting up new goals. So it's a business right out of the beginning and very clear about that I am in this for the business as well. It's phenomenal products, but I don't want them to think that I'm just sharing the nutrition because I'm only just caring about their life, but this is a business for me. And this is something that I'm doing to help my family. Okay, let's
This is awesome, Dawn. While you're looking through your notes, two things you underscore that I think is really important. And that is that sometimes we get so excited about the financial opportunity and we have, especially those of us on the line, have these huge visions of what this compensation plan can do for us. Even though we initially came in and the products changed us, right? And sometimes we have to meet people where they are. Like you were saying, Dawn, a lot of people first come in, me included, I didn't want the business. And people can get really turned off if you're too pushy and pushing the financial opportunity when it's not what they're interested in. So I love what you said about saying, you don't have to be interested in the business in order to eat for free. in a couple of weeks, you're going to have amazing results. People are going to ask what it is you're doing. I just want to make sure you're prepared and able to respond so that we can make sure that you're able to eat for free through referring people to these amazing products that will have worked for you. And it starts like that. So I love that you brought that up. And the second thing I think that you brought up that's really important is getting people on the calls immediately, even if it is the Tuesday product calls, right? You get someone newly enrolled, they're not quite sure if they're interested in sharing or not, get them on the product calls on Tuesday. I hope you guys are getting all of your team on the calls. All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, and that's something new that I've been doing. So the calls, the app, and the IsaBody, I'm very consistent now. And then the other thing that I took from Susan was she'll say that she'll enroll 10 people. She'll go into like a recruitment phase, and then she goes into a drive the line phase. So I'm scaling it back. I'm shooting for 5. And then, you know, to create consultants and drive the line, but really working with those people. So I actually have some examples where it's been phenomenal. I have someone that her personal goals, every single day she sends me a picture of her with her shake. And I got a text yesterday that she's found someone that she wants to share with. So we have a call set up to talk about that with her.
That's
and then another, like, it's so cool. And then another like amazing was somebody from high school. You guys, I haven't seen this woman in 30 years. And it's like we picked up where we left off. We've had several phone calls. And I'm going to go to Orlando and we're going to see each other. She lives close there. So, and I talked her through how to share it with, you know, her family when she's going back to see them again, which has just been, you know, something I've never done before. So just be you, just be real and keep it simple.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Just don't be weird, right? Because if it feels weird, it is weird. I love it. I love this, Dawn. And I think confidence goes a long way when you're talking to people too.
And for me, everybody on this call, we're all family. Pick up the phone, message us. I will help anybody. Anybody on this team will help anybody. Do not be intimidated. Reach out, because I've gotten so many incredible, you know, pearls from all these girls.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, for the newbies on the line, guys, feel free to post some of your back and forth conversations in our thread, because you'll get more comments and angles from different people, and their way of responding may be different than yours. Like, for instance, I threw in there today, I showed you guys how I responded to an Amazon question. I think sharing our verbiage is important. So if you've got a prospect and you're like, I'm not quite sure how to respond to this, put that in the thread, and there's a lot of amazing leaders here on the line who'd be willing to take a look and give you their 2 cents on how they would respond. You'll probably get 3 or 4 different answers on how they would respond, and you can, you know, craft it and make it your own. So thank you for that. Thank you, Dawn. Well, last but certainly not least, one of our amazing leaders on the line, Tammy Fry, one of our executives, I guess you're an executive crystal manager. What is it? Executive crystal manager? I don't know. You had crystal manager a couple weeks ago, and so anyway, Tammy, please enlighten us on what you've been doing, because you've been on fire with enrollments and creating consultants lately, and you always have been. So tell us what's working for you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to say, change your mindset about it, because I would remind myself, I'd have to remind myself that this is not hard, because, you know, hitting executive is one thing, but keeping it is another. So it is challenging. So I have to really be careful and tell myself that, you know, it's a little challenging, but it's not hard. So I keep reminding myself of that. But, and everybody can do this. So no matter who you are or when you started, you can do this. You just have to try what works for you. So what I've been doing lately, and I'm like Dawn, I've made all the mistakes, I'm sure. But what has worked out for me lately is I, of course, you know, I asked them, how I've been really doing it is like, as I ask them for their information, I will just go right into, I say, give me 2 or 3 names that will support you in this journey. And so I go ahead and I have them to name, because before nobody could ever think of anybody. And so now I have been saying, please give me 2 or 3 names that will support you. So I already have those down. And then I tell them about the accountability, how important it is. That, a person with accountability is going to have much more success. And then of course, I'll talk to them about the upfront money, the PIB a little bit. But the biggest thing I say is, real quick, I'm on a mission. This year, I'm helping everybody get their groceries paid for. So I have to tell you really quick, I can show you how to make $500 quick, and it will pay for 3 months of your premium groceries. So that's been my biggest thing. I tell them it's really simple. It's real easy. All you need to do is share with 2 people and help them share with 2 people. That sounds real easy, right? And I just keep repeating that all the time because it helps me too. It's real easy. All you have to do, find 2 people. I don't even say find 2 people. I just say, share with 2 people and help them share with 2 people. And that sounds really easy. So then I will, since I'm on this mission, I tell them, I will show them, I'll draw the little circles, and I will say, I'll just take them to manager. That's all. I don't take them past that. So I just show them, the money, how to make $500 quick within the 60 days. That's been working.
I love it. I think sometimes we can get ahead of ourselves and talk too far down the compensation model, and it kind of goes over people's heads. I found myself talking in circles with Sandra the other day. She's like, okay, so I've been studying the compensation model, and I know there's cycles, and I know there's bonuses, and I'm like throwing up on her. Here I am 4 years in, and I'm like back to like, talking about PIBs all the way to,
I know.
5-star, right? And people get lost. And I think finally I said to Sandra, I said, let's start here. You go find 2 people. You go find 2 people. And once you go find 2 people, we'll talk about how we're going to teach those 2 people to find 2 people. Right. I think back to my own journey, and it took me 6 or 7 months, and finally sitting at a Barnes and Noble across the table from Renee Schreidman. And I had to have her draw the comp plan out because I never knew anything around geometric progression in a compensation model like this. It just blew my mind. And now it just comes second nature, and we can really confuse people, but we understand it. And that's why we're so excited. And that's why we're on a call at 9:50 on a Sunday night, because we know what's out there, right? Okay. I love it. Tammy. You make it sound so simple.
You got to keep it simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what we're hearing here, Melissa, like if I could just shout out, listening to all our speakers tonight, is we all have this different posture, and it's a level of confidence that helps the people who you're bringing in. So I'm so proud of everyone who shared. It's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. It is. It's all about confidence. It is. I think all of us need to get into the habit before we get off the phone with whomever we're speaking with is, can you think of 2 people who would want to go on this journey with you? And if it's a business builder, who are the first 2 people you want in position on your team? I had this conversation with Dr. Lipsitz the other day, the guy we're doing the event at his spa. I said, who do you love the most in your family? Because this position is going to take off. I told him the story about Jessica Johnston's brother and how he's making passively like $100,000 a year, and the other one's making like $500,000 a year. And, God love him, but let's just say Jessica's been the one to do the work, right? Do you see any other Isagenix millionaires that are managers going across stage? Yeah. So anyway, casting that vision for people, right? So if they're saying they're interested in the business, create a sense of urgency. Awesome. These first 2 positions on your team are going to be amazing spots. Who do you love? Who do you care about the most that you want this residual passive income coming to them? Y'all, Jake is in my first position in my focus leg, and he made over $25,000 this year. He's not building the business. It's the position he is on in my team, right? So you can cast this vision to people. You can talk to people about this if they're interested in the business, because it's a real thing. You know, that real estate it's if you're serious about the business and you're bringing people in who are serious about the business, those positions are really good positions, right? So have that posture. Awesome. I love this. Tammy, anything else before we wrap up? I know we're a couple minutes over 9:45, but I don't want to sell you short. So I'll let you keep going if you've got other stuff.
No, I just keep it really simple.
Yeah.
Show them the money.
Awesome. All right. Here's the thing, guys. Who knows when the deadline is for Crystal Director? Who knows the date? Christine does. Cindy does. Louisa does. March 10th. How many days is that? I did the math today. It's 22 days. We have 22 days to hit Crystal Director. Now, Sindra, you actually have more time because you came in later. There's a whole reset. I'm not going to blow your mind right now. You have plenty of time to hit Crystal Director because we haven't even flipped the switch for you yet. But the rest of us, we have 22 days to hit that rank. Even if you've hit it before, you can hit it again for a lot of money. We've all been recruiting, doing a lot of hard work. We've got 22 days to teach our new people how to bring in 2 people each. I was running the numbers myself. I think I've enrolled 8 or 9 people in the past month. So I'm looking at myself in the mirror okay, you've got 9 people chewing at the bit. How do you coach them to bring in 2 people? I've got 22 days to do it. Who else has 22 days and they're going to do it? Who's focused on it? Who's going to do it? Right? It's there for the taking. So put it on the calendar, start working backwards on it. I know for me, I've got to do the math on how many consultants I want to create a week between now and March 10th to hit Crystal Director. And if you're already executive, if you're already director, this is only going to help you solidify your executive status, right? You don't want to be hanging on to executive by the skin of your teeth. Which reminds me, one last thing on consultants that I took note on that I want you guys to really think about is that as you're pushing for rank advancements to manager, director, executive, keep in mind that the consultants you're creating, they don't have to be huge business builders. I go back to what Dawn said originally about, it's okay if you don't want to drive a business. Let me show you how to eat for free. I think this should really give you a good picture of what this looks like. When I look at my front line, I have, on any given week, I have 12 to 15 consultants, personally enrolled people who are consultants, okay? On that front line, I may have, out of those 12 to 15 in any given week, maybe 3 to 4 that are personally vested in driving a business. There's 1 on the line tonight, and that's Louisa. Is anybody else on here that's a personal enrollment of mine? Okay. So I hope this, maybe it blows your mind for a second, but I want you to realize how important it is to drive your lines, because just because you bring people in doesn't mean they're going to want to build a business. 9 times out of 10, it ends up being people who they brought in, who they brought in, who they brought in, right? And so it's okay if your consultants don't want to drive a business, but you don't know who they introduced the product to eat for free that may decide, like Dawn Turner or Christine Minukin or Melva or any of you on the line, decide that you do want to build a business. And so it's important that you have your front line of consultants that 90% of them might be casual sharers. And that is okay. Your rock stars might show up 6 or 7 PET. Jennifer Bartram, how far down are you in my PET? I mean, we've tried, every time I try to find her in my back office, it takes us 15 minutes for me to find her. Okay. So if the people you're bringing in aren't interested in building a business, don't let that disappoint you. I have 1 person on this call tonight, 1 out of 17 that I've personally enrolled. Okay. I'm still an executive and I'm still driving a massive business. I just find the people within that. Sindra, I personally enrolled you. I totally like, boop, she's brand new, right? So I have two. I'm sorry. I have two on the line. Sorry. So just I hope that like resonates with you. All right. To take the pressure off that everybody you bring in has to be a massive business builder. This is network marketing. You never know who in your network of networks, 5 PET down, are going to pop and be your executives and run with you and become dear. Okay. Okay. That's it. We got 22 days. 22 days. Yes. 5 PET. Is that right, Melva? She's 5 PET. Isn't that crazy? Okay. Okay. Guys, let's put our heads down. We're going to focus on a couple things. If I had to call to action anything, we've got Shake Release. We've got Super Saturdays to be promoting. And we've got Crystal Director to get to, all of us on the line. And I think that's it. That's my focus. Oh, the training call on Wednesday. Get your new people on that call. I just directly messaged everyone and screwed up, and I called Cindra Kim, I think, in my message because I was trying to work too fast to get my messages out before the call. Make sure you're messaging everyone. Don't just message them. Ask for a response. Like say, are you going to attend? Can you attend? Will you attend? Don't just say, hey, there's this call. Hope you can make it. Right? We want to require a response. Will you attend? Will you be there? Trying to get a head count. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Have a wonderful night. Can't wait to try this new Isoline Pro. See you guys on the Get Call tomorrow morning. And let's head to Crystal Director. I'm going to stop the recording and I'll post it probably tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye.